Good night to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name is Sheldon Scott. I'll be here with you up until the 10 o'clock hour. It's now 7 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock on the Spice Isle of Grenada. And we welcome all the listeners via Real 91.9, 91.5 FM. All the listeners via We Noise Radio out there in Brooklyn. Good night to you, Wade.
If you are a leader and you lead because of power, if you take away from the poor man and you leave them just to suffer, oh, if your life not in line with the will of God, you must burn the searchlight inward. If you want to make it into heaven, my friend, live right and serve the Lord. If you are a leader and you lead because of power, if you take away.
And we say a special good night to the Brooklyn squad, the New York squad. Let me just do say Brooklyn because I Long Island.
Oh, if your life not in
all the rest, yeah, everybody nice.
You must
I know you all had that wonderful meeting yesterday evening.
If you want,
realized it was a massive success.
My friend, live right and serve.
So a special good evening to each and every one of you who attended the town hall. And we know that there was a problem in relation to the streaming because of the venue itself. There was a problem with the streaming. So we endeavor that by either tomorrow, we should have the entire thing up, or at least each speaker separately up via Talking Points and the New National Party page. So look forward for that one. Because we know the amount of people that had in bingo. We know all you wanted to see, but all you're going to bingo, so you go see it. Or we go put it up by tomorrow night, yeah? So that's a promise on my end. We will have the video up for you by tomorrow. And it's Monday night, so we're having the phone lines open from earlier. Yes, we will be speaking on several issues. Unless you are put up, eh? Nice, yeah.
If you are.
So we will be speaking on several issues.
And you leave because of power. If you take.
Tell a friend to tell a friend, tell a friend that Talking Points is on. Yeah, we started with the gospel tonight, yeah?
You must learn the searchlight inward.
I'm going to give you all one more and then we dive into the discussions, huh?
My friend, live right and serve the Lord. Oh, if you are a leader and you lead because of power, if you take away from the poor man and you leave them just to suffer, oh, if your life not in line with the will of God, you must earn the searchlight inward.
Well, we got a caller. Hello, good night. Hello.
Hey, bro.
Hey, good night.
Hey, bro.
How are you doing, sir?
Good, good.
All right, you go right ahead. You're live.
I'm just hoping you get a good cut of last night's program, because the audio was all messed up. There was lapping. You have mics leaking.
Okay, so what I would say to you is that I said it a while ago, but you probably didn't hear because you were probably calling at that time. I did say that I will be putting up the entire meeting, or at least each speaker separately. Will be doing that tomorrow. I won't promise tonight because I don't have the final thing in my hand yet. But I should have it by hold on. I should have it by tomorrow. We'll post it to Talking Points and the New National Party page. So all who were unable to see it last night, especially with the sticking and start and cutting off and so, will be able to view it in its entirety tomorrow.
Okay,
So I
that's
hope
what I was
that,
saying. I just hope that you get a clear cut, you know,
no,
and
I'll
not
get
like
it.
what they did last night.
Yeah, I'll get it.
Yeah,
Yeah, so don't worry yourself. It'll be up.
yeah, but it was spicy. It was spicy anyway. But just the audio problem.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah,
All right, my
yeah.
brother.
All right,
All
so
right.
take it easy. I'm a great one. I'll be hanging in here.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yes,
All right,
indeed.
one love. All right.
Yes, indeed, folks. Yes, the phone lines are open 440-7377 347-329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to call and get on to the insider. So we're going to take one more. Yeah, let's take one more.
Oh God, stand there. I want to
And we have a caller on the line. Hello, good night.
Good night, Mr. Scott.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Good night to all the Talking Points family, listeners, far,
Hey,
near, and wide.
brother Nimrod. Where go,
Sometimes
Papa?
I want to be incognito. I was undercover for about 10, 15 years, so...
Yeah, but you bounce up the wrong person to try and stay incognito around. How's it going, man?
It's all good. Trying to fight off a little cold here, but it's all good.
And I know you're tired too.
Very tired. I actually got home about 30 minutes before this morning.
I get home just before you.
Yeah, but it's all good though. It's well worth it, and I just want to call and say, well, two things. On behalf of the New York chapter support group of the New National Party, I want to say, thank you to everyone that supported yesterday, and those of us that were tuned in from down here. I want to take the opportunity to say thank you for them. And thank you for the New National Party. And obviously, as we can see, the work has begun. Well, we all know the work has begun, and we intend to continue the hard work to rescue Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. And then I also want to thank each and every one of our supporters, our well-wishers, and those who don't necessarily share the same political value of the New National Party, but came out for the bingo yesterday. It was a very successful event, and so the New National Party wants to extend a heartfelt thank you for those that came out and support the fundraising bingo yesterday.
Yes, indeed, and I saw some very ecstatic winners.
Very, very ecstatic winner. I don't think anybody that won was disappointed, because even on the few games, one of the things yesterday that was good, I think, is only maybe 2 or 3 games, and we played a lot of games, more than what was anticipated. We made it exciting and interesting for the patrons. But even those where there were multiple winners on the 2 or 3 occasions, it ended up being worth the while for for everybody. So everybody came away smiling.
Yeah, man, that cold beat in New York, man.
Yeah, Rodney had it for a week, and I dealt with him, got him better, and I was smiling. I was like, all right, well, I do take my vitamin C and my vitamin A, and I eat healthy, and so I'm good. And his own started leaving Friday. Saturday night I started coughing. So it wasn't as bad yesterday, but as the night progressed last night, it got noticeably worse, and then by the time I got home and today, it just kind of had me in a funk. But,
Yeah.
We can't sit down, right?
This too shall pass.
This too shall pass.
So, what's the next activity? Because some people were telling me they heard of a cruise. Some were asking, some people tell me they hear about cruise. They're asking already when ticket go ready for cruise. It had other people say, well, they're looking for when they're having the bingo. Some people in St. Mark say they want to have a St. Mark bingo. So the amount of people already asking, when is the next activity?
Well, we do encourage constituencies to have constituencies, and because it's not everything can be national, and the different constituencies do have events because they too have fundraising drives, right? Mm-hmm. So we do encourage that. I think the cruise that they were talking about we supposed to have coming up. I believe it was November 3rd. We were supposed to have a trip to Carriacou, so it would have been around the All Saints time. You know how All Saints is a big thing in Carriacou. However, because of the hurricane, that's not going to be taking place. So we didn't put out an official, cancellation of that.
So yes, the Carriacou trip that we were supposed to make,
right,
yeah.
so it's on the schedule, and I guess that's what people were referring to, because we were supposed to be honoring DC's brother Elvin Nimrod and our brother Senator brother Jetson. What's his last name? That passed away. Was
Justman, yeah, I know. Justman Emmons.
Right. We were supposed to be honoring, in memoriam for both of them around that time. But obviously, we know Carriacou is still in a terrible state, and we were planning the event and to have Honorable Elvin Nimrod's family participate, but that they wouldn't be able to be in Carriacou for that time. So we have to put it off. I believe it's going to be sometime in January.
Okay.
Off the top of my head, I'm not sure of the exact date, but I know it's sometime in January.
Hopefully by that time things would improve significantly enough in Carriacou.
Right.
So that we'd be able to do that.
So I believe that's what they were talking about. But as we speak, we do have quite some other things coming up. In November we have the youth forum, extensive. We have Honorable Emmeline Pierre and Honorable Kate spearheading that, and of course we know that's two dynamic persons there when it comes to youth and understanding the youth and knowing what's needed to motivate the youth and to get the youth working. So that's being spearheaded by them as part of the 40th anniversary. So that should be November 17th. Right. So that's the next carried event. But we should have a few smaller constituency events, in the first couple of weeks in November. So, of course, we would notify you of that. But the next major thing, as I said, is that youth forum, and then we have a church service on November 24th.
But Mr. Man, you're saying all kind of things, but you ain't inviting people.
Well, of course. Well,
No. Hold on. I ain't finished. You ain't inviting people to Thursday.
To where?
To Thursday.
Oh.
We up by you Thursday, I ain't find you invited. Yeah. Well, you don't come on.
Well, you have to save the best for last. You don't want to get, so let me get all this thing and then we go deal with me because, So, and then we have a press conference November 27th, and then Saturday, November 30th is the banquet and awards. Sunday, December 1st, gospel concert and mass rally. A massive rally. A huge rally. That will be it because, as we know, the anniversary date is actually November 3rd. So that Sunday prior, on the 1st, we're going to have that rally. And then Tuesday, December 3rd would be, we designating that day. I mean, they like to give holidays in Grenada. I don't know if they're going to give us that, or maybe we'll take a semi-holiday, but who knows, But that's going to be an MP day, and that would be Way Your Green Day. So that would be Tuesday, December 3rd, But as you very well know, Sheldon, even though the anniversary falls on December 3rd, is actually, you have until December 3rd of the following year to celebrate. So we would have, continuous activities as we cherish the new National Party getting to 40 years old, because that's no easy feat. That's no easy feat. So we encourage our supporters and our well-wishers to participate with us as we celebrate 40 years. The country of Grenada is 50 years old as of independence. So the state of Grenada, not the country, I should say, the state of Grenada, 50 years old from independence, and the new National Party has been in existence for 40 of those 50 years. And so as you were leading to, Sheldon, this Thursday, the October 31st, St. George's Northeast we'll be having our zonal meeting. You know, we were having the new national parties having a series of zonal meetings. So this Thursday would be St. George Northeast, and you know, I as the political lead is there doing the work in that constituency. We have Honorable Peter David. Senator Honorable Peter David would be one of the speakers because he's in that same zone as St. George Northeast. Senator Dwight Horsford would be one of the speakers. We are going to have a couple of youth speakers from the community on you know, addressing the youths and speaking directly to the youths in the community, because we know right now there's a sense of loss and hopelessness among our youths in the nation. And then, of course, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, our political leader, would be bringing the curtains down. And you know, I mean, you know, as these zonal meetings has been going on, he's been on fire with bringing the messages. And we see there was no shortage in New York yesterday. So there you have it, Sheldon.
Thank you, sir.
I know you would also remind you know, our listeners of
yes,
Thursday,
man.
You know.
Obviously, would you believe, with all the people that we had there last night, some of them went and even stand up in the mud because there was a serious football game there the day before, was it?
Yes.
So you had mud different places. So the people scatter, but the people were there. You have people that come in and say bingo bus.
Sheldon, I mean, you know, the funny thing is,
they had no shame. They really had no shame in it, brother.
The start part of this rhetoric was so during the campaign, you know, we allowed the NDC to just say whatever they want without really counteracting it and checking it. And we saw what that harm did. I think we, as the new national party, we even without taking that kind of decision, we really didn't push back on a lot of the things that they were saying, because there was just such blatant lies and falsehood. That we didn't feel the need to push back, and obviously hindsight is 2020, because we saw that some people did believe them, and some people did go for the okie doke, and some people did fall for their lies, and so they are constantly lying. They are constantly putting things out that it's just plain not true. But you know what's interesting though is that the NDC is a party in government, right? They are in government. Why does it matter what the NMP does? You in government.
Yeah, they're worried, so you have to understand.
Oh, is that what it is? Because it makes no sense that you're spending so much time and energy focused on what the new national party does. You should be focused on getting your message out and keeping your people happy. And obviously, if you're doing such a good job, people would not be bothering with the new national party. But you are doing such a horrible and terrible job in administrating and governing this nation that even people that voted for you and even your supporters are becoming so despondent with you. So now you obviously have to focus on what you do. And so, yes, I did see they put in that. I actually saw, I had direct link, even though I was there in the middle of the bingo. I was very connected with what was happening with New York. And then I saw something came off that, New York bus also, and it was poorly attended. And I'm like, I was just laughing because I had pictures in my phone where, my wife and others had sent to me where there were people already standing as they were putting that out. But the thing is, because we did not put no pictures out and the stream wasn't up and running as yet, they ran with that. And so once one dumb one says it on their side, oh, it must be true. So without even checking, without even, and it's just sad. It's just sad because the lies that the NDC put out before June 23rd, 2022 have us in the perils that we are today, right? They were saying things like they're going to pick the fruits with bucket trucks after people get off work 5 o'clock in the evening. I don't know if the whole of Grenada is lighted or if we have constant moonlight. But people actually believe that. People actually believe that. What did we do? Oh, we said, oh, it's a pie in the sky. Thinking, well, people would understand, well, what that means without explaining to people, hey, Grenada gets dark by such and such time. And there's absolutely no company that would give you the equipment to go in the hilly mountains. How are you getting up to the hilly mountains, first of all?
Well, the mere fact that we haven't seen the actualization of that pipe dream just says that it was just nonsense. So we're not even worrying with them on that.
It's not even one. I don't even know. I mean, maybe they were right. Maybe they were right that it was not a pipe dream. Maybe it was a blatant lie. Maybe they knew that they were lying. So maybe they were right when they were saying that, well, it's not a pipe dream, because clearly, by the stroke of a pen, by this, by that, and how much of it is coming to fruition now? You take Grenada, people are frustrated. The folks in the diaspora that would have supported them and advocated for change, these are the same folks that do not even want to hear the word NDC mentioned right now. If you look at that crowd, listen, I'm very familiar with the happenings in New York City, and if you look at that crowd yesterday, it tells you that the wind of change is blowing, and it's blowing very fast.
Yes, indeed.
It's blowing, and it's blowing very fast, and that's all because we have an administration, we have a government that's not performing. I mean, you look at what's going on in our health sector. I'm not even sure if we have a minister of health. Look at what's going on in our education sector.
I'll be coming to the Minister of Health in a little while.
Oh, God. Well, I can't wait.
I'll be coming to the Minister of Health and some other issues that I think need to be ventilated. I'm going to be doing that in a short while. But since people didn't get an opportunity to speak much last week, is why I've opened the lines and I said everybody could call now.
I'm going and get my glass of water and some popcorn and sit back and listen, because I mean, it's so sad.
I might need your help in investigating and inquiring on something. So you go here.
Well, I always need to keep abreast with my investigative skills. So I relish all the opportunities to keep it sharp, because but then again, I mean, it doesn't take much. You don't even have to have half a brain to figure out what these guys doing, because they're like it's like an open book, man. It's unbelievable,
Yeah, man.
But I do pray and hope that our people keep focused, stay true to the game, because we do have to rescue Grenada. I mean, it hurts my heart when I see the plight, right? That
my brother,
people are suffering.
8:30, I'm going to get into the issues.
My friend, right. As I said,
thank you so very much for your call. And again, we're going to see you on Thursday.
Yes.
At the Boca Secondary School for 6:30. Yourself, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, the Honorable Peter David. Who else is there? The Honorable Gregory Bowen is there as well.
Dwight. We have
Senator Dwight Osford.
Well, I'm sure Honorable Gregory Bowen might make a pass through. So once he's there, yes, and then we have Amanda is going to be there, or a young, energetic MC. Master of ceremony. A female's called master of ceremony, Sheldon. I don't even know what's the etiquette. What's the protocol for that? Is it mistress of ceremony? Right? And then we're going to have a couple of youth speakers from the community itself, addressing the community and addressing the youth in the community.
Wonderful.
So once again, Sheldon, heartfelt thank you to our listeners and supporters for coming out in their numbers and supporting the bingo. It was a very, very successful event, and I congratulate all the winners. I know the young man that won the car. Actually three persons won, but he decided to pay off the other two and keep the car. So he's very excited because he was in the market.
He get you nice.
He was in the market. I was talking to him, and he's like, man, I was in the market looking for a vehicle, because I was wondering why he offered to pay them off. And he's like, I'm actually looking for a vehicle. So,
he get through.
He get through, yeah. So that was good. People winning, $5,000.
Yeah, see, some people win $5,000 for themselves here.
$5,000 for themselves. I think two out of the four winners win $5,000 for themselves. The $3,000, the $2,000. Who got cell phones and money, who got hotel stay and money. I think all in all it went very well, and barring the little rain that came in the end. but it came when we were actually down to the last two games.
Yeah, that rain just come and bless the whole thing at the
Yeah,
end.
man, the Almighty God. Well, the NMP, the New National Party, is a blessed party. All of us in there looked up to the Most High. We have no other God but the Most High. You know that. So the Father always take care of his people and take care of his children. So thank everyone for that, and again, thank you for supporting the New National Party New York support group. Heartfelt
Yes,
thank
indeed.
you.
Yes,
We
indeed.
appreciate it. So thank you, Sheldon.
And we're gonna make sure
I know it wasn't planned. I was just calling to say thank you. But
No, but I know you
that's
go
why
call.
that's
I know
why
you.
I wanted to be incognito, but of course.
I know you go call.
Huh?
I know you go call.
Yeah, I actually just finished. Rodney just finished his homework. So I just finished supervising his homework, and then you started. So let me call early.
All right, my brother.
All right, my brother. Bless
You stay
you.
blessed. All right. Yes, indeed. 440-737-7734. In fact, let me hold for a little while on the phone calls. I'm not going to get into any back and forth with anybody about numbers. My name is Sheldon, not Donald. My surname is Scott and not Trump. We ain't getting into no back and forth with people with numbers, because it are some people that seem to be wholly and solely into numbers and so on. People who were there saw the numbers last night, and there were many people who were there to see the numbers last night. So we ain't had to get into that discussion. And I think someone is trying. Let me give this person the opportunity, and then I'll get into the discussions. Hello, good night. I'm hearing you sort of muffled, caller, but go ahead. Let's see if we can hear you.
Okay.
Oh, much better.
Better now?
Whatever you just do there, much better. Go right ahead.
All right. I want to say big up to us, the New York chapter of the NNP. That meeting was a bumper success yesterday, and I myself was surprised at the crowd. But we did it. We pulled it out. And I hope that we don't have to wait a long time before we have another one, a bigger and better one. Because, when you start to walk, you get the urge to walk. So we don't want to sit down so the urge would go. We don't want to let that feelings go away. We just want to keep going because, the NNP, with progress, we can't stop the progress. So we hope the other one
Indeed.
will be soon. And our hard work paid out.
Yes, indeed. And for you all having to change venues and all sort of thing, for the other venue being pulled out, and you had to get another venue and so on, and to be able to secure another venue and have the activity.
Yes, so we did.
Yeah?
Yes.
So
yesterday morning, we had to do all the decorations like in the hurry, but everything was on point.
That was hurry decoration, and all you do that so good. All you're good, boy. They must make all you do that late all the time.
While we blowing balloons popping.
All right, my dear. I want to thank you so very much for your call.
All right.
All right, thank you. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Yes, indeed. And there are some activities coming up again for New York, and so the Carriacou Petit Martinique branch around the 16th, they're having their lunch. Is that luncheon? Yeah, their luncheon and so on. So there are one or two other activities coming up. We'll keep you informed, keep you updated in relation to those activities. All right, so we're going to hold on the calls for a little while because we have a lot to discuss tonight. And the first one is the issue of statutorization. Okay, let me just put it this way. They're going and statutarize the hospital, right? So the minister has finally come out and admitted. We were hearing the Prime Minister speaking in relation to that before, but the minister himself has not only said that they're going to do it, he was drawn out by the union rep yesterday on the Bob report. And of course, we always give credit where credit is due. This is from the Bob report yesterday. And the minister came out and he was saying that they're doing the statutarization by the 1st of January. I don't know why they always rushing to do things. And remember, they were supposed to have the pensions. The new pension plan was supposed to have been rolled out from the 1st of October. Instead of rolled out from the 1st of October, we realize now they're saying that pension plan, they're looking at the first quarter early next year instead, all different things. But they're always putting dates and rushing to try and do things just to say we can do it and we have done it. But there are different things, and I'll play this first of all for you. The minister yesterday on the Bob report.
For us to statutarize the hospital, And our aim and intention is to get a competent board of directors by the 1st of January 2025, and to get a competent set of managers who will work alongside the board and with the existing CMO, Director of Hospital Services, and the other competent staff to transform healthcare in Grenada. For us to statutorize the hospital. And our aim and intention is to get a competent board of directors by the 1st of January 2025, and to get a competent set of managers who will work alongside the board and with the existing CMO, Director of Hospital Services, and the other competent staff to transform healthcare in Grenada.
So you've heard there the minister where he was saying that come the 1st of January, they will be turning the General Hospital into a statutory body. Come the 1st of January. That's just a couple months off, yeah? That's just a couple months off. That you're going to be turning the hospital into a statutory body. One more time. Good night to you, Zayla. Time for bed. You should be in bed already, Zayla. Zayla, go to bed. Right? Zoe, you're supposed to be in bed already too. Right? So I'm going to hold on the calls for a little while because we have something to discuss in relation to this. Because the trade union rep, Ms. Daisy Hazard, was saying yesterday that in the meetings that took place between the union membership and the Minister of Health, that on those occasions they did say that they're moving towards becoming a statutory body come January. And she repeated it twice yesterday. That is how he had to come out and admit, because they have not been saying that publicly. For some people, this is the first time they're hearing it. For other people, yesterday, during the Bob report, is the first time that they heard it. That come January, not okay, we're looking at a 6-month period. So they are doing an assessment now using Mount Sinai. They're doing an assessment now. The assessment they are doing now is to find out which is the proper direction to go regarding statutorization or whatever with the General Hospital and other medical facilities. But before they even finish doing the research to tell them if that is the way to go or to leave it how it is and make improvements administratively, etc., before the assessment is even done, here they are already. And I think Ms. Hazard mentioned that statement initially was made way back in June. That's before even the hurricane passed. That they're looking to statutorize the General Hospital by the 1st of January. And there are consequences when you do that. When it becomes a statutory body, there are consequences to that. There are different things that are attached to that you and I have not been informed of. That the staff, while they tell them this is the aim, this is what they do, the staff is still not aware. Let me repeat here. The staff, in other words, the people that work in there, the staff is still not aware of when the body becomes a statutory body and you have a board of directors that they have to answer to and so on. For instance, those under the public service. And the law is clear. The law is clear. Section 84(8) of the Grenada Constitution. It speaks to the fact that if you are a permanent worker with the government of Grenada, you're into a permanent position. So you have nurses who have been confirmed, doctors who are confirmed, you have radiologists, all the other people working in different departments who are confirmed workers with the government of Grenada. When the General Hospital becomes a statutory body, all these people immediately have to be paid pension and gratuity. Whether they are 25 years old or whether they are 55 years old, whether they have been working there for the last 20 years or they've been working there for the last 20 days. Once they are in a permanent position, these people have to immediately be given their pension. Some people might like that. Yeah, man, they're taking pension at the age of 20-something and 30-something. They're fully into the public service now. and you make it a statutory body, and according to the Constitution of Grenada, and don't take my word for it, you've heard what the minister had to say. Don't take my word from it. Let me just show you something quickly here that was put out by the Public Workers Union. I just came across this just before I left home. I came across this little video that they did, and this comes from the Public Workers Union. I hope I don't get in trouble with them for using it, but it explains partially what I'm speaking about. So let me put this up for you.
A constitutional clause in the Grenada Constitution Order of 1973 has ignited questions about the future of health workers' rights, particularly around pension entitlements and job security. Section 84(8) of the order states that any officer forced to retire due to abolition of their position or for departmental reorganization, and I quote, shall be entitled to pension and retiring benefits as if he had attained the compulsory retiring age, unquote. Under this constitutional provision, if the General Hospital is transformed into a statutory body, a process known as statutorization, permanent workers would have to be immediately recognized as pensionable, receiving retirement benefits as though they had reached the compulsory retirement age. Health workers, including nurses, doctors, and allied staff, have raised concerns that the government's failure to make their employment permanent may be linked to this clause. Is the delay in granting permanent status to nurses and other health professionals simply a strategy to sidestep pension obligations? Asked a representative from the Public Workers Union recently. The delay has stirred public discourse on whether it is ethically or legally just for the government to withhold terminal benefits from those providing essential services to the community. Health workers who have served on the front lines through national health crises could be left without adequate retirement support if not granted permanent status before any potential statutorization. Questions have also emerged over how statutorization could impact healthcare costs for Grenadians. While the government has yet to clarify whether or how the statutory transition would influence healthcare affordability, some citizens are concerned that changes could lead to higher fees or adjusted healthcare services. As discussions continue, calls for transparency and a clear government stance on the future of healthcare workers' rights and healthcare costs grow louder.
Right, so that was from the Public Workers Union. I saw it today. I don't know if it was put out today or yesterday or when. But it speaks to several things there, because even now, I know for a fact that the minister... Xavier, all right, nice. The minister, and the minister here, Telesford, who was on the program yesterday, who you heard a while ago, was supposed to meet both on Tuesday and Wednesday with workers within the healthcare system. That meeting has been, for whatever reason, postponed. Yeah? So you intend, and let's see how much days that is away, January 1st, yeah, 2025, right, nice. So let's see. We're exactly 65 days from now, 65 days from now, there's the intention to remove these workers from the status they are at right now. Now, over the past few months, the president of the Public Workers Union has been stating that the government wants to statutorize the General Hospital and other healthcare facilities, and as such, that is why they have dragged their feet in relation to the regularization of nurses within the system, breaking the promise of within 12 months and by the stroke of a pen. And all you know, I have a real pen inside, a bag of pen inside here. By the stroke of a pen. So you know what's going to happen now? You have people who may have been in the system for a long period of time who could have benefited. If they statutorize, these people could have retired now. They didn't have to wait 5 years or 10 years or how much years again. They could have retired now. That is being taken away from them. The promise if government had kept its promise to these people, and they had, within 12 months, within the 12-month period that they said they would do it, that they had made all of these people permanent, if they had done that, then by this point in time, you say going and statutorize, then people ain't bothering you, they're glad. Because they know either A, they could take whatever benefits that, because they have to get gratuity and pension. Remember, the law is very clear in relation to this. Let me pull up the law here. Let me pull up the Constitution of Grenada. What's the Constitution? Yes, you, Mr. Constitution. Right, so let me pull up the Constitution of Grenada here. The Constitution is very, very clear. In section 84 here, and section 84 speaks to different aspects of the public service. I'm going to have to put it large. I was putting it otherwise, but I'm going to have to put it large for you all to see. Yeah, so this is section 84 of the Constitution of Grenada. Yeah, you can do nothing that could breach people's rights that they have under the Constitution. You cannot make a law that breaks any aspect of the rights that people have and so on contained in the Constitution. It could be struck down in the courts as unconstitutional. So now it says here under section 8 of 84, every officer who is required to retire on abolition of his office or for the purpose of reorganization of his ministry or department shall be entitled to pension and retiring benefits, so you must get your gratuity. So it's not just pension, pension and gratuity, as if he had attained the compulsory retirement age. So you have to treat them. This is not a thing that you could, you might, or if you want to. This is the Constitution of Grenada. This is the Constitution of Grenada. So they have to treat these individuals as though they have attained the age for retirement. I know some people might be excited about that if you're a young nurse. Let's say you're in your 30s, you spend a couple of years in the service and you're in your 30s, and you happen to be one of those that were regularized by the last government or by this government, because they tried to give the impression the last government didn't regularize anybody. That's total nonsense. Yeah? So you were regularized. They might be smiling at this because this means that they could stay home basically and collect a pension, and they get a big gratuity payoff, and they could go and work elsewhere if they feel like it. But they're going to be getting their pension. They have that money that will have to be coming into them. And remember, that's under the non-contributory pension. So they have to be treated. It doesn't say that they might. Let me bring it back up for you. Yeah? Every officer who is required to retire on abolition of his office or for the purpose of reorganization of his ministry or department shall be entitled to a pension and retirement benefits as if he had attained the compulsory retirement age. It didn't give government any angle there to say that they're not doing it. You have to do it. So we have to ask the question, has the government factored in the financial implications of making the General Hospital a statutory body? Have they factored in that there may be several people within the system disgruntled with how things have been going with the system itself now, and they are permanent workers who, when it changes from a government entity to a semi-government, as in being statutory body, that these people may decide that's the time for me to move, because you get a big payment. Let's say they get 100 and something thousand, or they get a 200,000. You don't know how much money they might get from the time that they have been working inside the as gratuity payment. Next thing, they get a hefty gratuity, and they decide, I don't know that. So you may have somebody working in a particular department that is very well needed for the proper functioning of the facility, to keep people alive, to heal people. You may have people who are working in departments who have been regularized that may decide on this becoming a statutory body, I gone. Because they get a lash of money. They know they have some money coming in on a monthly basis. They may have an alternative source of income, or may go and find an alternative source of income. But that has not been factored in. It sounds nice to say we go in and statutorize, and NNP they say to go in and do it, and NNP started the process, and then afterwards NNP, by working it out, they say no, this does not make sense. And that's what happened before. This is not the first attempt at statutorizing the healthcare facilities. But there's a reason that the New National Party didn't move forward that. And Keda, where are they? You in Illinois? Where say they? Illinois. Okay, good night. Good night to you, Keda. Good night to you, Shemi, as well. Yeah. So you have a situation where this government is talking statutorization, but they're not talking of how much that is going to cost and the possible pitfalls. They have not discussed this with staff again. They were supposed to meet with the staff. The Minister of Health, Mr. Telesword, has cancelled his meeting that he's supposed to have with the staff. Tomorrow he's supposed to meet with some, and then he's supposed to meet with some on Wednesday. So some they're supposed to meet with on Tuesday, some they're supposed to meet with on Wednesday, and he has cancelled the meeting. Yet still in 65 days from now. 65 days from now. That is when they intend to do this, but you ain't discussed it with the staff yet. Yes, you inform them. Informing them is one thing, but you have not walked through with them how this is going to affect them. So while they know, yes, they're going to statutorize, we're heading that direction, many of them do not know what it means for them. And then you have the whole category of them that are not regularized workers. What happens to them? When the hospital becomes a statutory body, is it expected that they just continue working without any additional benefits, anything? They've lost their status basically as a civil servant. They are now working for a statutory body. How do you cater for those individuals financially while there are others who will be getting a windfall because of the decision that the government has made? So when we heard the Public Workers Union speaking over the past few months and talking about the fact that the government has been moving woefully slow. They're moving, I don't know if you all know a sloth. Yeah, the sloth on them they have down in Venezuela does take a whole year to cross the road. Right. They're moving worse than that in relation to regularization. Because if they had regularized more people, they'd have to pay out more money to people in pension and gratuities when they change the hospital to a statutory body. And they know they're going to change it to a statutory body. So you know what they did now? That is one of the reasons that they come with the backdated contracts and trying to get nurses to sign. Whereas what they should have been doing is coming to the nurses and said, we made a promise that within 12 months of coming into office, we're going to make you all permanent. And as we said that, here it is. We are making you all permanent. By the stroke of a pen, we are making you all permanent. Instead of that, they come with backdated contracts with wrong salary on it and asking the nurses to go and sign and bring back by a specific date because they have their intention 65 days from now. They have their intention 65 days from now. They have their intention. And I would think that if you're planning to statutorize the general hospital first thing in January, where there are financial implications, serious financial implications on the treasury of Grenada, serious financial implications otherwise for the individuals working within the system, I would think that you would have factored in having a budget before that. So now you want to go and do a budget after the fact. So they say budget will be in January or February, which goes against the Public Finance Management Act, which says that 2 months prior to the start of the financial year, the budget must be laid in the Finance Committee of Parliament. Now, understand what I'm saying here. The Finance Committee is a subcommittee of the Parliament, the House of Representatives. I think you have members of the Senate, but you have the Finance Committee. With the Finance Committee, they discuss things like the budget and so on, how spending is taking place and so. That budget document has to be presented to the Finance Committee 2 months. It's in the Public Finance Management Act. I'll get the exact section in a short while for you. 2 months prior to the start of the financial year. The financial year starts on January the 1st. and it goes to December the 31st. So the financial year starts on January 1st and ends on December the 31st. So it means that that document has to be laid in the finance committee anytime in the next couple days. And if it is not done, then that is illegal. They're operating illegally. I don't think a lot of people understand that with the budget. What the government is in effect doing is operating illegally. If they go ahead and do that in that way, unless they want to go and change the Public Finance Management Act to bring it in line, because they are accustomed doing that, They are accustomed doing that. That is what is taking place here. So if you're going and statutorize in January, and then you go in and read the budget after, and there's significant financial documentation, there's significant somebody threw me up there, and there's significant financial serious financial issues surrounding that. We would think that you want to do the budget first and not rush to do this starting the 1st of January just to say we statutorize and we start the 1st of January. Everything for this government is face and window dressing. They're not serious. They're not thinking things through and thinking what is the proper way to do something. That is madness. So all the nurses that you know who are permanent within the system right now, who are working at the General Hospital, every one of them have to be given pension and gratuity. If they decide, if they feel that they want to continue working, they can do that. I'm sure the government would love to have them. They can do that, but you have to treat them as pensioned. You have to give them the pension. They could be 28 years old, they could be 58 years old. You have to give them the pension and the gratuity immediately. No if, what, or but about it. But they're not having that discussion with us. This government is talking about having a budget in January or February. And their deadline, they already have to pay close to $56 million to people involved in that hotel project down in Grenada, where they said the reclaim. Close to $56 million to the investors, the people who invested money there so that they can get back their money. But they ain't talking about that, is it? But budget pushback. Budget pushback. All these things. We were supposed to have the new marketing board by June. But we ain't hearing about marketing. We ain't hearing about board. We ain't hearing nothing. But there are serious financial implications to that, because you're looking for a public-private partnership, which means government either has to come up with the assets or the money. So there has to be something that goes into the budget in relation to that. So it just means we deal with an incompetent group of people that only interested in dressing up. All they're interested in is how things look, not how things are. So they will argue. I heard the Prime Minister arguing and saying things nice on the ground and people, everything good on the ground and this so on. Yeah, go ahead. Who go make you wise? Me? Nah, man. You stay there and believe what you want. Mr. Prime Minister, you believe what you want. I'm glad when you're thinking, sir. I ain't going and tell you different. No. If you find everything good out there, nice. My good friend Anne-Marie. And if you find everything good, good. Go right ahead. Continue doing things the way you're doing it. I don't mind. Things nice. Ain't it? Every activity you have coaster in it. You can't even bus. Because bus too small. So you have to coaster. There's a reason. But anyway, I ain't offering advice to you. People have to pay for that. Right, so folks, this is the first one I wanted to deal with. Statutorization. Because there are various complications that are attached to that. And I have not even gotten into the cart of services and how those cart of services will change because the hospital is a statutory body. If you're talking of making the hospital a statutory body, you're also speaking about the cart of services, the basket of services that is going to be offered to the Grenadian people. And it's a statutory body, not a charitable organization and not part of government. So there will be costs attached to it. Everything from the bed to the bedpan. there's going to be costs attached to these things. You don't have a medical insurance that goes across the board for all Grenadians. The New National Party was working on that. You had some people like to read my mind, but as soon as I started NHI, somebody messaged me NHI. How are you going to pay? How are people going to pay? You have not started the NHI. A secretariat was set up, everything was being put in place, and so NNP, first you had COVID, then NNP went out of office, so it slowed the process down. We haven't heard this government say anything about how they've been moving forward with NHI, National Health Insurance. Now, if you have a national health insurance that every Grenadian is going to have, then that's a difference. But you looking to statutarize first and then go to look at the NHI, then go and look at the funding, then go and look at the money to pay off the nurses and all the doctors and all the people who work in the technical areas in the labs and all sort of things. Down to the secretaries, anyone who is regularized there has to be paid. And if half of them decide they're walking out, we doom. If quarter of them decide they're walking out, they get the money and they're gone, we doomed. But this government didn't care about that. They just want it on record. We statutorize the hospital. Not that people can die. Not that this thing has not been properly thought out. The Prime Minister could blab all he wants about, oh, it's important for us to go to a Saturday. That is his view. That is his view. What is the reality? And I think the Prime Minister needs to get it straight. His view is not always reality. His view is his view. The reality can be something totally opposite to what his view is. How is the average Grenadian, when the hospital becomes a statutory body, going to pay for services at the general hospital? How is the average, what is being put in place for the indigent among us? What is being put in place for the elders among us who may not have the financial support that they need? The people who are like the people under the seed program, who are under the seed program because financially they have not been able to deal with things. So that's why they're getting the assistance under seed. So you're telling me these people now will have to find finances because it's a statutory body to pay for services. What are the basket of services? Which are people, what is the costing that's attached to that basket of services? And how is that basket of services going to be paid for? All of these questions we have to ask. But instead of the minister go and sit down now, instead of him go and sit down with the staff at the hospital and say to them, listen, we've thought this thing through, but you can't go and say that because he didn't think it through, and I don't want to accuse the man of thinking. I don't want him to take me to court for lying on him. So I don't want to accuse the minister or any minister of thinking. Yes, I have my lawyers, but I don't want to accuse these people falsely of thinking, because next thing they might bring a case against me and say I was saying they're thinking, but I good well know they doesn't think. So that would mean that I'm lying. So let me don't do that. But at least have a meeting with the people. And why the rush? Why is it so important that January the 1st? Why was it so important to put in place the contributory pension by the 1st of October? Why is it so important to put in the statutory body by the 1st of January? Just make sure you go and get registered. That is what I say. 440-7377-347-329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to call and get on the inside. We soon move to another issue as well, but I'll still take your calls on this one as well.
Me, I want to fall. I want to stand up for my rights.
Just remember, I'm going to show you again, Constitution of Grenada. Every officer who is required to retire on abolition of his office or for the purpose of reorganization of his ministry or department shall be entitled to pension and retiring benefits as if he had attained the compulsory retirement age. Yeah, and he they mean he and she. Right?
Basket and bramble with lawyer tactics so he could deceive, cause we so gullible and so naive. By the stroke of a pen, massive increase in salaries, they were broke.
And I want to thank all of you that called, messaged, and so on in relation to Friday night's program. I did enjoy it myself.
A special need child, he was only 9. By the stroke of a pen,
and believe me, I am preparing for next week, not this week. So I'm preparing for next week. Yeah, nice.
Flies in helicopter, to see kayaks.
And again, to my good friend that I met on, was it Thursday? Yeah, the lady who gave me the idea to go back in the archives and do a night on the archives. I found the lady. Yeah, the lady find me. Yeah, at a meeting on Thursday night. Yeah, the lady who gave me the idea. So I just want to say a special good night to you, ma'am.
I say this man can be serious, like he out to puppy show us.
Yeah, by the stroke of a pen.
It's no game. It's not.
But you know, it also gives me the impression that there may be the intention to statutarize other aspects of government service. Yeah, they've already technically started doing that with the creative arts where they created that body. So there may be the intention to statutarize other areas, which is why they're not moving forward with the regularization. We have a call online. Hello? Go right ahead, caller. You're live.
Yeah, them people and them come to they say they have the power. You can't say you have the power so you can do what you want. Hold on a while, eh?
Yeah. You realize you had to load the volume in the back. I was just about to tell you. Go ahead, Papa.
This is Mokopin.
Springs people. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, the man say the NDC people and them had the power, but they didn't use it. So he come and using the power. That's why you want to do the hospital what you want. You go and sell the oil and gas and thing. Tell them what is Black Hat?
The Black Acts is a gang that operates in Western Africa. Well, it even has branches, I believe, as far as South Africa. But South Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, I think there are branches, one or two other areas. But it's an extensive criminal organization, and they have people at various levels involved in it.
Well, they will go, eh?
Well, going there don't mean that he involved with it. He was just the same place it was. I mean...
I do believe it, they will go. And it's not, this Black Hat gang. So using the powers.
Well, I did view a program on the Black Axe gang about 2 years ago on the BBC. I tend to watch a lot of documentaries. So I did see something on that about 2 years ago. Yeah. But we'll investigate who are some of the supposed members of that organization.
Yeah, man. I mean, this man just getting on like a donkey, man.
All right, my brother. You have a good one.
I try to. They listen to you every night, you know.
I know, man. And I see your son the other day and he tell me that too.
Yeah, they listen to them every night and go to bed when you're all done.
Yes, man. Thank you so very much, Mokopi. That means a lot to me, that man like you staying up and listen.
Yeah, you see, I even listened to it yesterday I'm singing America.
Okay. I'm gonna make sure that we put out a proper version of it so everybody will be able to hear everything and see everything.
Okay then.
Yeah. All right, my brother?
All right then, sure.
All right. You have a good one. Blessings.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So, folks, I also wanted to speak about another issue, another two issues tonight. I want to speak about another two issues tonight. Let me take this one and then I'll take the other one. Hi, good night.
Sheldon Scott.
How are you doing, sir?
I am the voice of one crying in the wilderness.
As they say, cry out.
How are you, my friend?
I'm good.
Wonderful. Sheldon, I am very much concerned of the behavior pattern of this administration as it regards to the Prime Minister. I cannot understand the way in which that young man operates. He operates as a bully. If he's not one yet, a dictator. How could you be a leader? The people elect you into office, and you're highly disrespecting the people that elect you into office. In other words, you do not realize that you is not the boss. Mr. Deacon Mitchell, you is not the boss of Grenadians. So, You have the lowest office. This is the servant of the people. You have to realize that you receive your salary from taxpayers. But why it is you as a prime minister decide to just do whatsoever you want? No consultation. Everybody must see it as how you see it. You is the head honcho. When I can talk, no dog back. When I say jump, ask me how high. When you leave and then you travel, hardly people know. And when you go, whenever you come back, you have nothing to tell us. You just take the decision to do whatsoever you want, Sheldon. Listen, this thing is chaotic. When our health institution, and Sheldon, you make some good point there now. If a nurse pulled 20 years, or a doctor pulled 20 years, or somebody in the lab pulled 20 years or more, and this person is an asset to our health institution, and they may get $100,000, and they may get $120,000, out I go. Out I go. And this person basically is a good asset to our ministry, the health ministry. But the big question is that, what is going to happen to the less fortunate people that cannot afford to pay a bill? Will there be more debt? Will LACWA get more people? And I am warning the Prime Minister, you have to get down on your high horse. So Grenada do not belongs to you. Why you don't consult? Sheldon, it's sickening, eh? You have a blessed night, eh, man. You have a blessed night.
All right, my brother.
Good night, Sheldon.
Thank you. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, folks. 4407377. No. All right. I've been seeing the articles coming to me nearly every 15 minutes. As I always say, though, don't take the impression that somebody sent it to me already. Send it still. I don't mind. I'll go deal with it. Send it to me still, because sometimes you might think that I saw it already and I didn't see it already. But I've seen quite a few of the articles in relation to the proposed oil and gas deal that was signed in, let me see here. Yeah. I'm seeing various stories in relation to it here. I'm trying to pull all of them up. Oh boy, where is it? But there are various stories that are speaking to an oil and gas deal out there. Somebody send me the one with the lady right now. Somebody send it, WhatsApp me to personal WhatsApp right now with it. Yeah, because I misplaced my links. So I've got to find it back, and it is proving a bit. Yeah, send it to me now. Right? So you've got an oil deal that's signed between GPG and the African lady who we all remember, the multi-millionaire African lady who was here just earlier this year, and there was some big, she took up the whole Calivini Island, and there was some problems. And so let me take this call while I look for that document. We have a caller line. Go right ahead, caller.
Hey, good night, Sheldon.
Hey, good night, bro. What's up?
Good night, talking point school. You catch me off guard with that one. I would have sent for you, but I was in the call.
Mm-hmm.
Sheldon, I want to say a very special thank you to everyone that I met last night. I'm saying in that bingo. Well put together. And Minister Nimrod right now, Minister of Finance. Good job. Yeah. Sheldon, on a serious note, we listening everything that's been happening lately with the what do you call it? What? Statutorization of the hospital. You want to statutize it, not privatize. So Mr. Minister of Health, Mr. Telesford, he's shown his arrogance live in full color, right? Out of all the months he's been missing, he come back very arrogant. So it shows now that the union is on top of the game. Mr. Grimes is on top of the game. Even though they may seem slow, they are on top of the game. But yet we are seeing people that's supposed to be in position as nurses saying, making comments under the A Live. This is very dangerous because I thought as a public worker, especially in the health field, you are not supposed to be making such statements. Now, to Mr. Grimes and his union, this is a fair warning. There are other union leaders or other union members coming for you, and people that was in union. Statements has been made. The battle lines has been crossed. I'm seeing it in full view. I don't know if I blinded, but I've seen it. You know, because this thing right now is going to a point now that the decommission-led administration will do what they want. They will get what they want, and we Grenadians who don't support them can say what we want. But the NMP is there to keep them intact. And that is the problem. They're studying about numbers, to hell with that. I don't care about that. But the union people, keep your eyes on the ball. Keep it. Because trust me, we are going on a road which I will call a dangerous democracy. I keep saying it to me. These men don't care what is going on. And lastly, Brother Lacko, Brother Lacret, ease your soul of what's taking place right now. Ease your soul. Expose the corruption. Please. Because if your former boss could say he's the biggest seller of Grenada, and right now you have a minister of health, you are there, Mr. Lacko, expose all of them. I'm begging you. Sheldon, have a good night. More to come.
All right, my brother. Yes, indeed, folks. So let me take a couple minutes here, right? So there is this article that's out there, and the article speaks to ICYMI, Nigerian oil firm, secures $1 million deal in Grenada. All right, and it speaks to Grenada is set, and I'm reading it for those who are on radio, obviously, and they can't see it. Grenada is set to become a major energy hub as Nigerian oil and gas company. And let me increase the size of this a bit because I realize some of you who are viewing online as well may not be able to see it, right? Grenada is set to become a major energy hub as Nigerian oil and gas company Ocean Gate Oil and Gas Engineering has secured a historic multi-billion-dollar deal. It says million, anything but billion down here. Multi-billion-dollar deal with Global Petroleum Group to launch one of the Caribbean's largest oil and gas ventures. A statement by the group CEO, Dr. Aisha Ashimugu, I think I pronounced it well, me and Krishna, made available to Punch Online on Saturday, stated that this transformative partnership aims to develop Grenada's significant hydrocarbon reserves, paving the way for the island nation to emerge as a major energy hub in the Caribbean and beyond. Ashimugu said, "We are thrilled to enter this partnership with Global Petroleum Group, which will bring substantial economic benefits and energy resources to Grenada. This venture underscores Ocean Gate's commitment to investing in sustainable energy solutions that drive economic prosperity while respecting environmental standards. We believe that this project will lay the foundation for the future economic collaborations between Africa and the Caribbean." He added, with a vision to fuel long-term economic growth and sustainable development, this ambitious project promises not only to elevate Grenada's energy production capabilities, but also to foster job creation, infrastructure development, and technology transfer, etc., etc. So that's this story there. But we also have to remember, this same lady is the lady that locked down Calvini Island. When I say lock it down, she came to Grenada and she had a birthday party. She said she loved Grenada and things, so she had a birthday party. Remember this article from back on the 29th of January, where they were after her to file her tax returns, demands her tax returns after the birthday party that she had, because they said, well, the kind of money that she spent there, she flew in, I think this famous musician, Kenny G, or one of them, I think she flew in, and that sort of thing. So they were coming after her in relation to taxes. And you had the governor of Lagos State, the same Lagos that the prime minister found himself in when he was on the way to Rwanda, and he found himself in Laos. So the governor of Laos was here in Grenada with this lady. It's not, look at you at the birthday fete. was reportedly attended by high profile like the governor of Lagos State. I remember this gentleman when he came, he met with the prime minister here. So you understand the connections that are taking place. You understand the web that is being spread there. So now we say over the government statement countered claims that his visit to the Caribbean island was a party. The Lagos State government released photos of him in Grenada presenting a miniature of the blue train to Grenadian Prime Minister who? Deacon, well, oh gosh, no, all you can't do that. It's Deacon Mitchell. All you can't put Deacon Michelle. It's Deacon Mitchell. Yeah? So this is the same individual who is now working along with the same GPG. And let me remind you all, the New National Party had been working along with GPG in relation to oil and gas. They, after losing government, this government said, first of all, they make the poor Governor General have to go and read thing about the mystery of oil and gas. They don't know about Grenada oil and gas. Nearly every interview that the Prime Minister did earlier was about, oh, we need to dig into the oil and gas. Now, remember, they are supposed to have or have had an investigation going into oil and gas to get all the documents, led by none other than Victor Nazim Burke. The same Victor Nazim Burke that claimed that the same GPG people, remember, when he was inferring that they may have been involved, that was the inference he was making at the point in time, they may have been involved to an email that he received with threats that came from a Russian site. It came from a Russian, with a Russian handle to it. And he was inferring at that time the NDC administration was in office. So we're talking sometime between 2008 and around 2010. It was early up in the thing. Because remember that point in time, he had police officers around his house, and so that his life is being threatened. And the impression that was being given to the Grenadian people was that somehow GPG had something to do with that. The same Nazim Burke, several times after, leveled accusations bordering on corruption to the same GPG. And he's in charge of this government's investigation to what is going on with our hydrocarbon or oil and gas, as you put it simply. Now the Prime Minister suddenly appears in Lagos, Nigeria, let me say it like this, Lagos, Nigeria, and all kind of plane coming from just out there and reaching here in Grenada in the night and all kind of thing, people jumping off, all kind of thing taking place. Yeah? I living close to the airport. Kind of flight coming in, all kind of weird hours and thing here. Weird tail numbers. Companies registered all in Mexico and all kind of. Anyhow. So, you have that situation. We have not heard back from the Prime Minister a single word in relation to oil and gas. In fact, when we were looking at the videos coming out of Nigeria, we heard Mr. Dangote speaking about he's interested in getting Grenada's oil and gas. The same oil and gas, all those NDC activists have been out there saying that, oh, we lied about. So all of a sudden it's not a lie. Because look, billion-dollar deals signing in relation to it, and you still have heard not a single word from this government in relation to it. It is very suspicious that the Prime Minister finds himself over in Nigeria, in Lagos State, and all of a sudden you're hearing about this deal sign and this thing with oil and all this sort of stuff. All of a sudden you start to hear all of these kind of things. So it is very suspicious what is taking place there, and I believe a certain level of clarity needs to be provided to the Grenadian people in relation to the deals that have been signed and other aspects of what the Prime Minister's direct or indirect involvement in what has been taking place. He ain't leave Nigeria a month yet. The cricket bat and them don't even reach yet. The basketball and them, he say he get to, they don't even reach yet. Yes, not just cricket bat, basketball too. They ain't even reach yet. But yet still, you're hearing all these stories all of a sudden from the Nigerian media and other regional media. In fact, I saw a story from St. Kitts in relation to the oil and gas thing here. And let me see if I could pull that one up too. Yeah. in relation to the oil and gas issue here. So I saw this one. Grenada's giant African gas gig could bring in billions of dollars. Yeah. And then it speaks about the same thing where this businesswoman has, she's become involved in Grenada's oil and gas. Strange enough, as again, there was a flight from the Cape Verde Islands and Madeira, yeah, just last week. There was a private jet that left that area and came straight to Grenada. It didn't go anywhere else. It came straight here to Grenada. From Grenada, it ended up in Mexico. From Mexico, it ended up in Trinidad. Anyway, yes, but I think we have a call online. Let's get to the phone lines. Hello, good night. Hello.
What going on, boy?
Adeya.
Everything all right?
For the time being, you go right ahead, caller.
Huh?
Caller, you're live, you know. You can go right ahead.
I could go right ahead?
All right, yeah. You one of them dying serious. Yeah. So you have the situation now where this is taking place with the oil and gas with Nigeria all of a sudden, and you are not hearing any report coming back from the committee that was set up by government to look into that. That was part of a throne speech either last year or year before. It was part of the throne speech. You're not hearing anything further in relation to Grenada's oil and gas coming out from that. But you're hearing now that a deal signed there, and so on. All well and good. Also, there is the issue, as was raised, apparently they listen to apparently they listen to talking points. And there is the issue that has been raised by one of those newspapers as well, of the Prime Minister's obvious breach of the Integrity in Public Life Act. He has breached the Integrity in Public Life Act. We have to find out, did the Prime Minister, and this is just another article that they've got there, where they speak about the equipment rule, and where they're speaking about the same thing that I spoke about last week, where I spoke about the fact that by accepting the gift on his private trip, the Prime Minister, as a public official, according to it's actually Integrity in Public Life Act, is obliged to declare the gift to the gift registry of the Office of the Integrity Commission for the relevant officers to determine if the gift should be declared a property of the state or declared as a personal gift. Yeah? According to the Integrity Commission, the gift registry sets out the Commission's responsibilities in observing and upholding national legal and policy positions on bribery and corruption. And what I'll do here is I'll pull up the Integrity in Public Life Act for you. Yeah? And I'll show you something here. Let me see. Code of Conduct. Let's come down a bit. This is the Integrity in Public Life Act. Yeah? And it speaks to report of gifts here. And when it speaks to report of gifts, it says here clearly, a person in public life shall not accept any gift or reward from any person as an inducement for any official to be done by him or her, or be a reward for any official act done by him or her. 2. Notwithstanding subsection 1, a person in public life may accept a gift or reward from a community organization on a social occasion which represents the creativity of that organization. Be a foreign dignitary where the person in public life has reasonable grounds to believe that the refusal to accept the gift may offend the foreign dignitary. Mr. Dangote is not a foreign dignitary. Yeah? He's not a foreign dignitary. Where a person in public life accepts a gift or a reward. Let me show you here. Where a person in public life accepts a gift or a reward in the circumstances specified in subsection 2b, he or she shall make a report to the commission of that fact in the prescribed manner within 7 days of the receipt of the gift. 7 days are long gone. The Integrity Commission needs to tell us, the Grenadian people, whether or not the Prime Minister has declared the gifts, because there's multiple. One is the trip. That's one gift. Because the trip itself was provided by Mr. Dangote. We know for a fact that that trip went into the thousands of dollars, because you had to bring family members, you had to bring photographer, you had to get hotel, all kind of thing, and that was paid by Mr. Dangote. was that declared and the amount of money spent on it declared to the Integrity Commission? That is one. Two, you got 1,000 cricket bats for your cricket thing. Then you come after trying to say it's with no. You said for yours. For your cricket thing that you're doing. 1,000 just for yours. For the cricket kits. So the next thing there is, did you report that within the 7-day period to the Integrity Commission? The third one is, on a separate interview, the Prime Minister spoke of getting basketballs as well. Was that reported to the Integrity Commission? Because these things are being given on a trip where there was somebody who wanted to do business in Grenada to the tune of maybe billions of dollars. So the question remains, did the Prime Minister file these gifts to the Integrity Commission inclusive of the trip? If so, I as a citizen want to see the signed copy and the date it was given to the Integrity Commission. A signed copy and the date that said document was brought into the Integrity Commission. The form filled out and when it was brought in. Yeah? Where the Commission, not the Prime Minister, the Commission, determines that the gift was given to the person in public life as a personal gift and was not intended to be a motive or reward for doing or abstaining from doing anything in the course of the performance of his or her official duties, functions, or causing any other person from doing or forbearing to do anything, the Commission shall allow the person in public life to retain the gift. So it is not a situation where the Prime Minister makes that decision. It is a situation where the Integrity Commission makes that decision. And my friends, there are penalties that the Prime Minister of Grenada can face if he has not done that. Offenses. A person without reasonable cause to furnish to the Commission a declaration or further particulars which he or she is required to furnish in accordance with the provisions of this Act. B. Knowingly makes a declaration which is false. C. Fails without reasonable cause to give such information or explanation as the Commission or a tribunal constituted pursuant to the provisions of this Act may require. D. Fails without reasonable cause to attend an inquiry being conducted by the Commission or a tribunal constituted pursuant to the provisions of this Act, or knowingly gives false information in such inquiry, commits an offense, and is liable on conviction to a fine not exceeding $200,000 or a term of imprisonment not exceeding 5 years. Let me read that part again. Commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine not exceeding, look at your right here, commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine not exceeding $200,000 or to a term of imprisonment not exceeding 5 years. Yeah? Where the offense committed pursuant to subsection 1 involves the non-disclosure of property acquired by a person while in public life, the court may, if satisfied that such property was acquired in contravention of this Act or any other law, in addition to the penalty specified pursuant to subsection 1, where the property is situated in the state, declare that it is forfeited to the state, or where the property is involved is situated outside the state, order that an amount equivalent to the value of the property be assessed by the court, be paid by the person in public life to the state. So this ain't no joke thing. 5 years in jail or $200,000 and under, not 200,000 and over, 200,000 and under. Yeah? Because it is an offense not to declare these things. So again, the question is, did the Prime Minister of Grenada, and that's what this article in the St. Kitts newspaper is speaking about, you know. That is where this article in the St. Kitts newspaper is speaking about. They're speaking about the fact that this is, he's been caught LBW by a Nigerian spinner. Yeah? Because you can't just go out there because you're the Prime Minister of the country and somebody said they're giving you that and you are your personal cricket thing and you say, well, okay. Or they're getting your basket or they're giving you a trip and you just say, okay. No. The Integrity Commission has to look into that and has to do what they have to do. Yeah? Somebody tell me the Integrity Commission don't care. Folks, we're going to start to take your calls again. 440-7377, 347-329-3101. And there's one more that I want to speak about before we end off tonight's program. Yeah, and some people afraid for me to talk about that one. They say, Sheldon, but you going to talk about that? Yes, I'm going to talk about it. Let me take this call first. We have a call online. Hello, good night.
Good night, Sheldon.
Hi, good night, my dear. How are you?
I'm fine. I want to find out. Grenada, we do find. Dr. Mitchell did find oil in the outside of Grenada.
Well, my friend, it was not Dr. Mitchell. GPG had the thing, and they were doing it, and they reported to the government that they did find oil and gas, and so they didn't find the quantity that made sense. In other words, as a good friend of mine said to me today, to go and drill that oil at the cost oil and gas was at that point in time, and the amount of money it would have spent to extract the amount that was there, it would have been like taking a $50 bill, light it on fire to find 10 cents on the ground in the dark.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
The government in power now was given a whole story on the campaign trail about Dr. Mitchell with the oil. Why it is so important for them now about this oil thing? When I could remember, last week I told you I was in the hospital when a lady was wrapped up in a sheet and she couldn't get any attendance. And this gentleman come outside, and I said to him, why you don't ask the doctors inside there to come out and pay attention to us out there? And his words to me was, why we don't campaign for statutorize, give me the word there, the hospital.
Statutorization, yeah. Statutory. What? Make the thing statutory.
Right. And I look at this gentleman, he was well dressed. He looked like, he's a former government minister or somebody like that. And it shocked me today that in the news I heard something like that. I heard he was speaking about that today. So it was planned long before. Was it a couple of years ago? I was listening to all news. I was open my eyes and see what's taking place in the country and outside, well, in the world. And it surprised me because when Dr. Mitchell announced about the oil, the present Prime Minister, the ex-Prime Minister, the Calypsonian, all of them was down on his back. So I want to know now, what is the whole story that this Prime Minister now want to get famous for the finding of the oil, or get extracting the oil, going to Nigeria, one of the best African country in the world, to get donation or get people to come and see what the oil. I want to know. I kind of confused. Because I'm confused, I can't say talk properly, Sheldon. You understand? So I want you to highlight me a little bit on this, what really taking place with this government.
All right, my dear. Right. No problem. All right. And folks, I'm going to raise another issue here before I take another call. Over the weekend, a good friend of mine sent me an article. And the article they sent me said this: Russian organized crime invests in real estate in the Caribbean island of Grenada. In other words, the Russian mafia, using cryptocurrency to hide source of money. And what they are claiming is that the Russian mafia is utilizing Grenada as a sort of place to hide their money and launder their money. That is the accusation that's being made in this article, yeah? That they are trying to wash money in Grenada. And they have all sorts of accusations that they are making in this article towards the administration in office right now. Yeah? So the thing is, we have been hearing about significant numbers of people with who are Russian getting Grenadian citizenship over a period of time. We know that specific local agents were involved in obtaining, even under the last administration, that it was specific agents who were the ones that were getting the Russians, and so, And you all could guess which ones are talking about and which are dealing with it now. And now you have the concern, the continuing concern, that the Russians may be here in Grenada right now with their organized crime networks. And we have to be very, very concerned and very, very careful about that. We have to find out what is taking place in relation to this particular issue, because it is very frightening. There are various aspects of it that we as a people need to be aware of and to be very, very concerned about. Yeah? So we're hearing now of their involvement. We're hearing all sorts of things about the Russians. So we need to be very, very concerned about what is taking place when it comes to the Russian organized crime networks and what they are doing here in Grenada, if indeed they are here in Grenada. So I'll be doing some more investigation in relation to this particular one, trying to find out who some of the people and them may be and some of the names that coming up and so. But even more importantly, because you have a CBI program, and people will come into your CBI program from different countries and so, and the country they're coming from, when you do your background checks on them, everything may say they are okay. Yeah? Especially if they have enough control to make sure that the information that you get is the information that they want you to get from their country. So we have to be very concerned about how this may affect things like our financial sector and so, if it is found that these individuals are utilizing Grenada as a hub to wash their money. And we should find out who are some of the people that have been involved. Who are some of the people, because certain accusations being made there, you know. There are certain accusations being made there. So we need to investigate this thing a little further. Folks, I'm going to open the phone lines because we're quickly running out of time. So I'm going to open the phone lines for you all. 440-7377, 440-7377, 347-329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to call and get on the inside. Yeah? So I'm just mentioning that one at the side. I'm just mentioning that one because certain things are said there. I'm mentioning that one at the side. We have to investigate some more in relation to it because, again, there are specific local agents who have been involved with these people. Yeah? So it's not the CBI program as such, but the agents who have been involved in ensuring that these specific people got not only Grenadian passports, but involved in various things here. All right? Nice. So let's go to the phone line. Hello, good night.
Good night, Mr. Scott. How are you?
Hey, I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
Okay, go right ahead.
What is the purpose of the chief of staff? He is the one to tell us now about this guy with his gift. If integrity in public life cannot tell us, chief of staff should be able to tell us. Terry St. Louis.
Well, the thing is, chief of staff was there with him when some of these things were taking place. So I am not sure if chief of staff is really well, maybe he is the best person. I don't know.
Of course, because all of these jacket bandits.
Well, let's be careful how we call them because I don't want nobody come and sue me. So we will take back the word bandit. No, yes. We go take it back.
I ain't taking back nothing.
My brother, you're on your own.
Yes,
you're dealing with but you see, on your own, you're also taking me down and the station down. So I will kindly say that we have to be careful with our language when we say certain things. You can say it, but you have to be careful how you say it. Yeah?
All right. Well, anyhow, yes. But they have to know that a lot of things that they're doing, it is not right. And integrity in public life would have to give us some answers. Okay?
Yeah, indeed, yeah.
All right.
We need to find out, yeah. 440-7377, that's 440-7377. That's the numbers for you to call and get on to the inside of tonight's program, yeah? 440-7377, 347-329-3101. And once again, I want to thank each and every one of you who came out to the various activities over the weekend. Those of you, the couple thousand of you that came out to the bingo, and those of you that came out to the meeting out there in New York. We have a call online. Hello, good night.
Good night, Sheldon.
Hey, how you do?
All right. I think they're going to come when the intelligence committee will come out and do what they have to do. We just have to wait, and we just have to have patience. I think the right time will come. Okay, thank you.
All right, my dear. 440-7377, 347-329-3101. We have a call online. Hello, good night.
Good night, Sheldon.
Hi, good night.
How are you?
I'm quite fine.
Okay. I listen to your program every night, and I listen what is the Prime Minister will be saying. The man say he's the biggest seller for Grenada. So there is nothing we all could do. I thought was Kid Bishop was selling, but he's selling more. You understand? I don't see Grenadians, we are very hypocrite people. We don't come out and say nothing. The only barbarian and not speaking. So a lot of them can't speak. They mouth lock. But if was keep meeting and the NMP was in power, you would have seen them taking the street. That's why the teachers. Because I'm not sorry for some of them, you know. I'm not sorry for some of them because look what they used to be doing in NMP days. Look what they used to do. The union coming out. They're having a big rally. They're having a big time for Grenada. I look get a lot of stuff. I go and register. Get a lot of stuff register. Because you have all people coming in and register in Sheldon. I don't have to check the registration book, check all the and see all the name there. Grenadians open my eyes. I don't see what's taking place. Look the island gas again. They take it to island. You see what happening now? They see that with white dog and the black dog. So open my eyes, Grenadians, and see what is we are doing. Have a good night, Sheldon.
All right. Thank you so very much. 440-7377, 347-329-3101. Yeah, and I can't do like Friday night and stay late. I have to move once you see 10, I have to go. All right, so you all need to. My goodness. Hey. 440-7377, 347-329-3101. That is the number for you to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program. Yes, statutorized. Why my tongue tying up? Oh, I don't have my glass of water tonight. That's what happened.
I want to fall. Me, I want to fall. I want to stand up for my rights. Everything appears so easy.
And folks, remember the meeting taking place at the Boca Secondary School this Thursday. We go back to the phone lines. Hello, good night.
Hi, Sheldon. Good evening, and good evening to all your viewers and listeners.
Good evening.
Okay, I want to join my voice with my chairman, Mr. Oliver, and on behalf of the other members of the organizing committee for the 40th anniversary, to say how pleased we were with the support given by all who turned out to the bingo and those who worked behind the scenes, and contributed in one way or another. I think we had a successful event, and I think the team pulled it off really nicely. It was our first attempt at this, but I just want to really, really say thank you, and join him in saying thanks because of that. Another thing is I'm listening to the program this evening, and so many issues, so many things are coming forward, and I want to congratulate you as well for opening our eyes, educating us, and welcoming our comments and so on. We don't want to take you for granted, Sheldon. We appreciate you a lot, and a lot of people have been. We share this show a lot, this show, and people have been tuning in, locking in, and they've been listening, and they're getting educated, because outside there, when you talk to certain people, because of the narrative that's being pushed against the new National Party, sometimes we can be, read in a different way. But thank God for programs like yours where truth comes forward and facts are on the table, naked as they can be. We get all our information and we can share the information and educate people. And for this, I want to say thank you. And to the members in the diaspora, we watched your show yesterday, your town hall meeting, and it was really, really heartening to see the turnout and to see the energy in that room. I mean, Nimrod and I should have been there, but of course, because of the bingo, we couldn't go. But I want to congratulate the organizers up there, Mrs. Oliver, Grace Lynn, and the whole team, for pulling it up so nicely. I mean, NNP is a fantastic organization, and I always say how proud I am to be a member of this political organization. Sheldon, thank you, and have a good night.
All right. Thank you so very much, Doc. And you have a wonderful one yourself.
Thank you.
All right. Yes, folks, we have just a few minutes remaining. 440-7377. That's 440. I have a song I want to play at the end, and I have to play it at the very end because I know Facebook will block it, YouTube will block it. I have to play it at the end. 440-7377, 347-329-3101. So we have to wonder, why the unholy rush for certain things? Folks, have you all checked the voters list? Have you all checked the voters list? Because you have to ask yourself, why the rush? Why the 1st of October? Why the 1st of October that they wanted to have the pension put in place, the new pension scheme? Why the 1st of January you want to put in place the statutory body for the hospital? You have to ask yourself why there are these specific timelines that they push in. But they wouldn't tell us by the 1st of November we go have H.A. Blaze Street usable again though. They ain't telling us something. That's what we want to hear. That the first of November that we go have H.A. Blaze Street available or something. We know that they've been saying that we won't get Molyneux and thing. Yeah. Stick to those timelines. But instead of that, you hear they're pushing these things and you're wondering why. Again, on the issue of making the hospital services a statutory body, you must ask yourself, why the rush? Why the haste? 65 days. You ain't discussing nothing with the staff. You're supposed to have a meeting tomorrow and Wednesday. You have not done it. You have not done it. So you're supposed to go and meet with the staff. At least hopefully you are going to tell them what the benefits are going to be and so on for them, and to at sort of ease the fears and the concerns that they have. Because we've seen what the Public Workers Union has said about what the workers who they are representing are saying. And what discussions? Because it seems as though that no discussions have taken place with the union representing those workers. Because if something like that is going to happen, and let's say it's as much as 50 workers or as much as 100 that are going to be directly affected by being pensioned at that point in time, and you have a similar number of workers who may not be able to benefit from that, I would think that some significant and serious discussion would take place with the union so they wouldn't have to be asking questions 65 days before you implement it. I would think that by this point in time that you have already put in place what you need to put in place, and you speak to the union, and so you set a date and you say that's the date we're going with. Folks, how much y'all want to bet by the 1st of January they didn't do this? How much y'all, anybody want to take a bet? No, that's gambling. Next I have to go to the gambling commission and get permission. But it ain't taking place on the 1st of January. They're just saying that. They're just saying that right now. But what is in place for them to become a statutory body? You have Mount Sinai. They're doing the assessment. And at the same time they're doing the assessment, you're saying, well, okay, we're going to do it on the 1st. Then finish the assessment. Suppose the assessment says, don't go statutory. Just change these aspects of your administrative structure, and that would take care of the problems that you're having. What if Mount Sinai says the best approach is, and you all say you ain't doing it, but we can't trust all, you say privatization. So we don't know. So you have to be very careful with what is being said by these individuals and so, because they are not speaking with the people who it's going to directly affect. They have not spoken with us, the Grenadian people. Is it that the hospital will remain the same? You go and you get treatment and in the same way? Or is it a case where you'll have to have your insurance or you have to have your money to pay? What is the situation? People are left out here without knowing or understanding what is really happening and what is going on. And that, my friends, is very, very unfair. When it comes to the Nigeria trip, again, the integrity in public life legislation is absolutely clear. Absolutely clear. The integrity in public life legislation speaks to within 7 days of accepting a gift, you are supposed to report that gift. There are even forms that have to be used. I wonder if the forms are on this document. Yeah, there are forms that have to be used for declaring that gift and so. Yeah. I'm not seeing, I think that's the form there. Yeah, I think that is it. No, that's the oaths and them kind of thing. Yeah. But there's a specific form for that you have to use. Right. No, this one is declaration of assets and thing. Yeah, that looks familiar. Right? So yeah. So you must declare within 7 days, or you face as much as 5 years in jail or close to $200,000 in fines. Did the Prime Minister within the 7-day period make the declaration to the Integrity Commission that he received a trip worth, we don't know if it's tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars. We don't know if it was by private plane. Yeah, we don't know if it's by private plane, which could cost in the hundreds of thousands. We don't know if it was by commercial airline, which might cost tens of thousands. We don't know. That he received that gift from the gentleman, and a declaration within 7 days of receiving that gift was made to the Integrity Commission, because 7 days has long gone and there are consequences in relation to that. So the questions need to be asked. Folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful being here. In whatever you say and do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you, and definitely not about you. Giving you all a gentle reminder of the meeting taking place on Thursday at the Boca Secondary School. That's going to be starting from 6:30, not 5:30, 6:30 p.m. Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, the Honorable Peter David. You also have Senator the Honorable Dwight Hosford, and of course the man himself, Mr. Nimrod Olivier. And you'll have some other speakers who will be speaking on different issues at that meeting this Thursday at the Boca Secondary School. Folks, my name is Sheldon Scott. I am out of here. Looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow, God's willing, with more talking points for you. Love each and every one of you. I am out.